Let me paint you a picture. It's been one of those days, the kind where everything that could go wrong did. Your boss moved a deadline up. You got stuck in traffic that turned a 20-minute drive into an hour. You walk in the door and you are emotionally drained already. You're mentally fried, and there's only one thing on your mind, and it's not a salad and it's not a grilled chicken. It's maybe pasta or bread, or a whole jar of cookies. Why? Why do you think this happens? Why does stress create this almost magnetic gravitational pull towards carbohydrates? If you've ever beaten yourself up over it, thinking it's a lack of willpower or it's maybe some kind of moral failing, I need you to listen to me. It's not, and it's not you. It is a precise, ancient biological program that has been written into your DNA since the dawn of mankind. And today we're going to decode it. You're going to understand exactly why stress makes you crave carbs, how this creates a vicious cycle that actually worsens your insulin resistance. And most importantly, I'm going to give you a toolkit, a set of non-food strategies to break the cycle at its source. Welcome to my channel. I'm Belinda Dow, a licensed dietitian. Let me break down the science for you. So let's talk about cortisol's ancient programming. To understand this, we have to travel back in time, way back. Imagine you are a caveman and you're happily walking along and suddenly you see a tiger. Your body doesn't have time to think, oh, that's an interesting animal. No, it has to act now. You see something, you're in danger. This is where cortisol, your primary stress hormone, comes in. Its evolutionary job is actually beautifully simple and it's incredibly powerful. It's to mobilize energy right now to help you survive and to, if you want, attack the immediate physical threat that's happening. Here's exactly the sequence. It triggers in your body in slow motion. I'm going to explain it to you. First, you perceive the threat, tiger, or in the year 2026, that threat might be a nasty email from your boss, a traffic jam when you're already late, or a gnawing worry about money or relationships. Your body does not distinguish between a physical tiger and a psychological stressor. A threat is a threat. Second, cortisol surges from your adrenal glands. Third, that cortisol shouts signals to your liver. It says emergency, code red, break down your stored glucose, your glycogen, and dump it into the bloodstream now because we need it right now. We need instant fuel to fight or run. Fourth, your blood sugar rises rapidly and you haven't eaten a single thing yet. This is a stress-induced glucose dump. I've spoken about it in previous videos, but today we'll dive into it a little differently. Fifth, your pancreas sees this unexplained spike in blood sugar and panics right along with you. It releases insulin to shuttle all the emergency glucose into your cells. Now, in the short-term scenario, this system is absolutely brilliant. Use that energy to fight the tiger or you run away. The threat passes, your body resets, and you go back to your cave and you eat some berries. Perfect. Here's the modern catastrophe. Our threats aren't tigers. They're chronic. They're unrelenting. Deadlines, inboxes, social friction, money stress. The cortisol tap doesn't get turned off. It just drips all day long. This means your liver is constantly getting these false alarms. It's drip feeding glucose into your blood when you don't actually need it. And this creates an unnecessary chronic blood sugar wave. And your pancreas is getting whipped constantly to produce insulin to clean up these messes it didn't ask for. This right here is a primary underappreciated driver of insulin resistance. Your cells are just getting bombarded with insulin signals they never asked for, and eventually they start to cover their ears and they tune it out. Second, let's talk about the crash and the craving trap. Now, let's follow the domino effect. Let's say you have a cortisol spike at 10 a.m. from, let's say, a stressful meeting. Okay. Your liver dumps glucose. Your pancreas dutifully releases insulin to clear it. By noon, what's happened? You're in the post insulin blood sugar crash. Your blood sugar is now lower than it was before you even started your day. And your brain is running exclusively on glucose. It consumes about 20% of your body's energy. When it senses this crash, it hits big red flashing panic button. It sends out blaring emergency signals that feel exactly like fuel now, feed me, I'm starving. Now, what is the fastest, most efficient way to get that glucose from your plate into your bloodstream? It's not salmon and it's not asparagus. No, it's simple carbohydrates. It's sugar, it's bread, it's pasta, chips, crackers. Your brain, in its panicked state, doesn't crave a balanced meal. It screams for the metabolic equivalent of jet fuel, high octane, quick burning carbs. So you crave carbs, you eat them. And for a moment, it feels absolutely amazing. We've all been there. You get a rapid dopamine hit. That's the reward neurotransmitter. That's a reward neurotransmitter. And a swift rise in blood sugar. The brain fog that you were feeling, it lifts. The anxiety dips. And it feels like the perfect solution. But here's the trap. That heavy carb meal, the one you just had to have, now actually causes its own massive insulin spike. And what follows that spike is another crash just a few hours later. And with that crash comes another wave of cravings. You're on a roller coaster you can't get off. And to add insult to injury, this combination of high cortisol and high insulin is the perfect hormonal cocktail for storing what? Belly fat. It's a biochemical prison. Psychological stress drives you to eat very foods that are worsened by your insulin resistance. And the resulting blood sugar chaos makes you more vulnerable to stress. It's a closed, self-reinforcing loop. Breaking the cycle. How do we do it? This is the most important takeaway of the entire episode. Understanding this loop means that we're managing your stress does not just come from self-care, self-love. No, it's direct. It's a non-negotiable metabolic medicine that needs to be done. You have to break the connection between your nervous system and your endocrine system. So what do? Here's your toolkit. Tool 1, we intercept the cortisol signal. This is about acting in the moment. When you feel that stress wave hit, you have maybe your heart rate is racing, you have a racing mind, you know that you're in stress, you know that your cortisol is going to spike. You don't wait for the craving to follow. What do? You intervene immediately with a non-food tool that tells your nervous system the tiger is gone, we are safe. How do we do this? One way is box breathing. Box breathing is a technique that works beautifully. You inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Do that for 2 minutes. It's literally like a manual overdrive for your nervous system. You're activating the rest and digest mode and you're lowering cortisol on the spot. Then we have the 5-minute walk. Physical movement is actually brilliant here. It helps literally burn off the glucose your liver just dumped into your bloodstream. and that utilizes those stress hormones for their intended purpose. So if you can walk outside, even better. But if you can't, um, you could just walk in your office. You could walk wherever you are standing. Third, the cold splash. Splash cold water on your face. This triggers the mammalian dive reflex, which slows your heart rate and calms your entire nervous system. It's literally a quick, sharp reset. It really works and it's amazing. Tool 2, fortify your meals. High stress days, your meals need to be armored. You need to be extra, extra diligent about what I call the trifecta. Protein, it slows down digestion and it provides steady stream of amino acids. Second, fiber. It slows down the absorption of any glucose and that prevents those sharp spikes. Healthy fats. It promotes satiety and it gives you a stable, long-lasting energy. When you combine these three, you create a slow, steady release of glucose into your bloodstream. You prevent those dramatic crashes that send your brain into emergency panic mode. You build a dam against the flood. Tool 3, you reframe the cravings. This is a psychological tool, but it's just as powerful. When a craving hits, just hit the pause button. For 10 seconds, ask yourself. Basically, it's a diagnostic question, and maybe not everybody has the self-awareness for it, but try to do it. Am I truly physically hungry? Or am I stressed, anxious, tired, or bored? Here's the trick. Put your hand on your stomach. True physical hunger builds gradually. It's a low rumbling signal from your body. Stress hunger, it's sudden. It's urgent and it's specific. It screams, chips, now. Not nourishment. Just that 10-second pause, that act of questioning, if you want, can break the autopilot response and create just enough space for you to make a different choice. This takes practice. It's not easy, but you will get there. Your cravings are not a sign of weakness. That's the message I need you to understand. They are messages written in a kind of biological Morse code, and today you've learned to decipher it. And it's not saying I have no willpower. It's not saying I can't do this. It's saying my cortisol is high, my blood sugar is low, and my brain is desperately seeking fast fuel to solve a nervous system problem. The path to real lasting metabolic peace requires calming your nervous system just as much as it is changing what's on your plate. They are two sides of the exact same coin. So please make sure you are doing both to fix your insulin. Here's your challenge for this week. Pick just one of these interception tools, the box breathing, the 2-minute walk, the cold splash of water. Commit to using it in the very moment you feel that stress wave hits. Before you even think about heading to the kitchen, sit down and try these. I'd love to know what's your go-to non-food stress reliever. Share it in the comments. Let's build a master list of ideas for this whole community. If you're ready to build true metabolic resilience from the inside out, hit the subscribe button. We're just getting started. Thank you for doing this deep work with me.